What's up, guys? Chris over here at Cover 7. Hey, real quickly, major shout out to everybody that subscribed and liked the videos last week. Helps my channel go a long, long ways, considering I'm super small. I'm pretty new to this. I appreciate all the support. As far as my betting weekend goes, it was pretty good. I won 6.5 units yesterday. A couple huge upsets in college football. Penn State getting beat by a bad UCLA team. I don't know what's going on with the Penn State Nittany Lions. Also, Florida, we called it, or I called it, I should say, over here versus Texas. Big win. Shout out to the Gators. Billy Napier gets to keep his job. Now, here's a good game, and one I've been kind of waiting for here, and I need to apologize to the Indiana fans. I'm not a big Kurt Stegnetti fan, and I wasn't super high on Indiana this year. Indiana's a damn good football team. I actually had to make an apology video after they absolutely destroyed Illinois a couple weeks ago. So we'll get into Indiana here, and I'll talk about them. I'll talk about Oregon, and I'll give my official bet here at the end of the video. So far, so good for Indiana. Now, they did play a close game a couple weeks ago. They did have a bye last week against Iowa. As you guys know, and I watch a ton of Iowa football, Iowa's really good at home, especially the defense. That game was, 20-15. Surratt made a big play at the end of the game with a couple minutes left in the fourth quarter for Indiana to pull ahead and win that football game. But that was actually a pretty good football game, low scoring. Like I said, the quarterback play for Indiana, this Mendoza kid that transferred from Cal, is having a ridiculously good season. He's got over 1,200 yards on the year, 73% completion percentage, 10 yards average per completion, which is really good. He's got 16 touchdown passes, only one INT, only been sacked 5 times. He's right up there in the Heisman, in my opinion. Running back room, not bad here. Hembley, pretty damn good running back. Black, he's back again. Damn good running back. They kind of split carries back there, excuse me. And Mendoza, yeah, you really don't have to worry about him running too much, but he does have 100 yards on the ground so far this season. And he's got a couple scores, so he can move a little bit there. The receiving core, which is vastly underrated in my opinion, Omar Cooper Jr., kid's a stud. You guys remember him. Elijah Surratt, who I mentioned earlier, had the big catch against Iowa. Damn good receiver. These two are really, really good. Williams is not a bad receiver as well, but between Cooper and Surratt, they catch everything. Those two guys got 12 touchdowns between them, by the way. So far, so good for this Indiana offense that is very, very good. On the defensive side of the ball, they're pretty damn good as well. Look, I'm not going to dig too much into the rankings, but they rank right up there. One of the better defenses in the country, definitely one of the better defenses in the Big Ten. With that being said, though, they're going to be traveling on the road here to Oregon. And you guys know that I'm a big Dan Lanning guy. I've been a big Dan Lanning fan since his won a couple natties over there with Georgia as the defensive coordinator. This guy can coach. He's pretty much changed Oregon's culture in my lifetime from high-octane offense, kind of soft on the defensive side for a lot of years under Chip Kelly. He did the whole, I'm going to bring the SEC approach over here, big O-lineman. We're going to run the football, play defense, elite quarterback play. Seems like they always got some stud back there, a quarterback or a guy with a lot of experience, a la Bo Nix, our boy Dylan Gabriel, who's playing today for the Browns, who got the start. So, yeah, now they bring in Dante Moore. And you guys, if you watch my Oregon versus Penn State video, mind you, I did take Oregon money line in that one. Dante Moore should be talked about more. That was a big win on the road at Happy Valley. He's a pretty damn good quarterback, highly touted out of high school. He sat a year last year, which I think is huge for college kids. You don't see that very often. And learned behind Dylan Gabriel, right? Now he's got the helm here, and he's looked pretty good, man. He's a damn good quarterback. Oregon, though, as far as their schedule goes, they've beaten Montana State. They destroyed Oklahoma State. I don't know what you want to think of Northwestern, but Northwestern plays teams pretty tough. They beat them 34-14, destroyed Oregon State, and then obviously the big win in double overtime against Penn State, 30-24. Now, I will add Penn State, with them getting beat to UCLA, and Penn State previously playing Oregon had played nobody. Is Penn State any good this year? Is James Franklin on the hot seat? I'm not going to get into that, but what do we really think about that win now? Oregon going into Happy Valley and beating a Penn State team that may not be very good. I think a lot of people, myself included, had Penn State being one of the best teams in the Big Ten and obviously a playoff contender. It does not look that way right now for Penn State. So say what you will. I think still the win for Oregon going into Happy Valley and winning that game was huge. As far as the statistics go here, I talked a little bit about Dante Moore. His numbers are good, man. I like I said, people really sleep on this kid. He's got over 1,200 yards as well. He's got 14 touchdowns and 1 INT. His numbers are kind of comparable to Mendoza's. Nobody talks about Dante Moore at all. He can run a little bit. He's got 122 yards on the ground. He doesn't have any touchdowns, but that's okay because the rushing attack for Oregon is pretty damn good with Hill and Lamar, or how you say it, Lemar. Those two guys, pretty damn good backs, both averaging, mind you, over 5 or 6 yards a carry, which is very, very good. Noah Whittington, he's the go-to back. Sometimes been hurt, banged up. I think he was supposed to be the starter. He's averaging 8.5 on the year. So I know Oregon's got a little bit of a rotation back there in the backfield, but these guys are all good. It's Oregon. Oregon's got a really good O-line. They can run the football. This is not your Chip Kelly, like I said, or Scott Frost offensive-led teams back in the day here. So Oregon pretty good on the offensive side of the ball. The receivers are pretty decent. Moore is a really good one. Benson, you got Bryant. You got a couple guys out here that can make plays. In my lifetime, seems like Oregon always puts out these really speedy receivers. They got a couple guys that can go up and body a ball as well. So very impressed there with Oregon offensively. On the defensive side of the ball, played really well against Penn State. Now, I don't know how much stock you want to put into that. They're not giving up a ton of points on the year. They did a decent job shutting down that Penn State backfield a couple weeks ago. Look, say what you will here, but I think Oregon is one of the best teams in the Big Ten. I also think they're one of the teams that's got a chance to win a natty this year. So with that being said, how am I betting this game? And like I said, guys, the line may be off when you look at this because I'm putting this out super early on a Sunday morning. Indiana, I'm all over here. I'm taking the points. Anything over a touchdown, I'm taking Indiana. Why? I think this Indiana team can play with Oregon. I do. I know it's on the road. Oregon is very, very good at home. Dan Lanning is a damn good coach. But Kirk Stignetti, and I have to honestly admit this, and I'm doing it now, maybe the best coach in the Big Ten outside of maybe Ryan Day at Ohio State. I don't know. I can't confirm that yet. We haven't seen a ton of time from him at Indiana. But in his short amount of time, he's got this team playing a physical brand of football, can win close games. I like the win at Iowa. People are saying, well, they didn't look good. They found a way to win the game on the road, man. That's huge in the Big Ten. You guys know that. Oregon on the other side, Dan Lanning walking into Happy Valley, beating a very good Penn State team, in my opinion, who now we're all kind of, well, is Penn State any good? Are they not? Penn State's still a decent team. No easy task to do to go into Happy Valley and win. So Oregon being at home here is huge. But if I can get Indiana at a +10, a +9, hell, even a +8.5, I'm going to jump on Indiana here. I think this game comes down to the fourth quarter. And in my opinion here, which quarterback can make the bigger play? I truly believe that. I also kind of like the under in this game a little bit. Look, like I said, the number may change a little bit because this is super, super early, but I wanted to get this one out here just in case I do grab a +10 or something like that. I'm going to be on Indiana in this one, guys. So with that being said, probably not the most informative video that I put out because it's super early here, but I want to get it out there. I got a lot more videos I want to do here in week 6 or week 7 for college football. There's a lot of good games coming up this week, guys. So stay tuned into the channel. I'm going to give you my unbiased opinion week in and week out, guys, over here. Good luck betting, and we'll see you next time.